I've wanted to make this video for the last couple of days, and life has just been, it's just been crazy. Every time I go to sit it up, it just doesn't work out. So it is currently 8:59 in the morning. Two of my children are still asleep. Again, it's summer break, and usually I would have them up by now, but I really, really, really wanted to try to get this filmed and out there. So yeah, I'm letting them sleep in a little bit. Quick little update with how I'm doing, just so that this isn't all just like word vomit and ranty or whatever. I've been doing great. The family's amazing. You know, there's a lot that unfortunately I can't share on here because there's weirdos on the internet, but so far we're having a really good summer. We've been doing a lot of daycations where we go out and, you know, as a family and just hang out and stuff. Yesterday was Father's Day. So we had a cute little cookout, had some family over with their kids, and the kids just had a blast. They love, like a lot of our cousins love to come over here with their children because of all the farm animals, the pigs and the sheep, and the kids just love to play with them and feed them and all the things. So that's really, really cool. It's a blessing to be where I'm at in my life at this point. And I know my husband feels the same way. And yesterday I feel is like one of the first Father's Day in a long time where we're not as like stressed. I mean, life is stressful. You know what I mean? It is stressful. We are always on the struggle bus. And we do live in a poverty-ridden area. But I've never felt richer in my life, you guys. I can't even not even express that enough. Like, I feel so grateful for the life that I have today. And sure, I have bad days. We all do. I have days where I wish I could do so much more as a mother and this, that, and the third, do so much more for my husband. But all in all, like, life is just so good. Life is so good. So we're doing good. Everyone's enjoying their break. The hubby had to go back to work today, unfortunately. I am off until this weekend. Last weekend was our anniversary, so I got that weekend off. And then I had to work over the week to kind of make up for it. And then this weekend, it goes back to the weekend. There's so much content I want to share with you guys, if I'm being honest. And it's just, it's not even a lack of wanting to, it's a lack of time. And I will say that when I do have the time to film, I a lot of times utilize that time to crochet. Crocheting has become my new hobby, obsession, thing that I love to do. It gives me something to do with my hands. It helps me with my anxiety so freaking much, you guys. So this that I'm working on looks like a whole bunch of nothing, but it's going to be a purse, okay? And it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but the stitch on this is so cool, you guys. It's kind of like a poppet. If you have kids, you know what a poppet is. Like, it's a bubble stitch. So these like will stick out, and it's going to be like kind of puffy all over. And it's just a really cool stitch that I'm just recently learned. And I am making a bubble stitch purse. That's what I'm currently working on. I did this bandana with this like faded vintage blue jean vibe going on. I love this color. I have bandanas in almost every color, and when you wake up, your hair looks like this. I haven't brushed it this morning. It's nice to have a little, you know, little bandana to cover it all up. So yeah, like when I do have extra time, this is what I'm doing, and it helps me. And I will be honest, I probably in this video, as I'm talking, because I want this to be very natural, I want it to flow. I don't want to overthink. I'm a major overthinker. I just want to say what I think and how I feel about some things, and just talk with you guys naturally without overthinking every single word that comes out of my mouth. That I hate that I'm like that towards myself. I wish I wasn't such a overthinker and so like hard on myself. I don't know why I do it, why I judge myself so harshly, especially when it comes to what I say. But I think what it is more than anything is it's the people pleaser in me. You know, like even though I've definitely been working on that in the last several years, and I think I've came a long way because I used to be so much worse about it. It's still hard. You know, I never want to offend anyone with anything I say. I never want to hurt anyone's feelings. Those things are never my intentions when I say anything that I say on here. It's just giving my opinions and my thoughts, and I try to do so with fairness and grace and all of those things. I always have tried, but I'm human. And I know there have been times I've judged harshly. I know have been times that something I said was probably hurtful towards someone else. And I never feel good about that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. That's another thing that's been really hard these last couple of years. I feel like I'm just not in the same place I used to be when I made all this content and gave all my opinions on like every single little thing. Now, granted, there are times where something can get me a little heated. I react and I'll post something really quickly, or I'll throw a video together really quickly. But I don't make a habit out of doing that for those reasons, because I genuinely do care about other people, strangers or not. It's the internet. You can't please everyone. I know that. And I don't necessarily want to. That's the thing. It's internal. I think it has something to do with just being raised by a narcissist, and it's like imprinted in me to think about others and think about how others may perceive things, and oh my gosh, are they going to get mad? And it's a struggle. It's a constant struggle. It's something that I fight all the time. And there's no real rationality to it, because at the end of the day, if you don't like what I have to say, you don't like what I have to say. But you're entitled that, you know, like you're entitled to not like what I have to say, despite whatever the topic may be. But I just am so hard on myself, and crocheting has really, really helped me to just relax a little bit. Life is so damn short. It's just too short to be so stressed out all the time, or so like hyper fixated on like what others are going to think, or how something you say may offend someone else. And even though that may never be my intentions, I also know that with the internet, it's bound to happen. If I share my opinion on something, someone out there is going to get offended. We live in a very sensitive time in the world where everyone has an opinion. Everyone feels very entitled to share their opinion. And then you have those who feel very entitled to say they disagree with you. And I think there's a lot of beauty in that. And I think social media is super cool in a lot of ways. I love that we have freedom of speech and can say what we think and think what we want, you know, like no one controls us. But it makes it tricky too. It makes it really tricky. But with that being said, I just wanted to give y'all a quick little update on how how the summer's been going so far. We've really been enjoying life and just living each day to the fullest as much as possible. We have a busy schedule in this house. There's like a lot to do in a day. So the days go by really quick. My days off here with the kiddos, I just feel like the week flies by a lot of times. And it makes it really, really hard, because I'll sit almost every day and think about, today I'm going to post a video. Today I'm going to do this. Today I have all these thoughts, but it's the execution that I struggle with. This has always been my outlet, and I don't want it to not be my outlet. Everyone deserves an outlet and a place that they feel comfortable to share how they feel or their thoughts on things. And I love that I have an outlet. Once you get out of it, it is so hard to like get back into it. It just is. So this is me trying, you guys. I'm trying, and hopefully it gets easier. I really want to get that consistency back and have somewhat of a stability with my channel that you guys can rely on and know that, hey, on these days, or, you know, at least a couple times a week, Wildflower is going to post something. And I want you guys to be able to rely on that. I know how it is as a supporter, and I know it's important. Consistency is very important. So I have definitely, when it comes to YouTube, I have self-sabotaged for sure. And it's not necessarily been intentional. It's just been a matter of prioritizing and making the time, because sometimes, yeah, that's what you have to do. You gotta make time. I appreciate y'all for being patient with me. So many of you guys have been with me for so long. You're just so patient with me, and it means a lot. I appreciate y'all's support more than you even know. When I did come back a few weeks ago and made a few live streams, I didn't expect anyone to care or to be there. And the fact that there was like a couple hundred of you that showed up and was still cared, like, that's crazy. That's like insane to me. And it's a good feeling. It definitely is a good feeling. So I just want you guys to know I really appreciate you, and your support does not go unnoticed. This is so frustrating. Yarn getting like all twisted up like this, I spend more time unraveling yarn than actually making something. But anyways, that's besides the point. I just wanted to say that. I kind of do want to get into something that happened recently, and a lot of you that may click on this, you're not going to have any clue like what I'm really talking about, but that's okay. I'm going to try to make it, I will tag the people that I mentioned in this video, but I'm going to try to keep it like to where you can understand even if you don't know who the people are. Okay, so I watch YouTube, I watch things, but I'm really a bush watcher in a lot of areas, and I don't say much, and I don't give my opinions, and I don't really like express myself a lot. But when it comes to people that have been in my corner and that I have like created friendships and connections with and have spoken to for 5+ years, those people, I try to make a cautious effort to show support, to engage, to watch, to like, to communicate, and be a part of the conversation. A lot of the people that I support are streamers, so I will catch them live when I'm scrolling, or I'll get a notification, whatever the situation is, and I'll just pop in and, you know, show my support. And there came a time where I stopped doing that as much because just so much drama, which I know is very ironic when I quite literally have been a drama channel for the last 3 years at least. You know, I've had a few different little journeys on this channel, but, you know, so I know, but it's like I've said before, drama is so different when it's like outside drama. I think we all can kind of fall into the sipping of the tea a little bit, especially if it's like celebrities or, you know, stuff like that, that's so like twice removed from you. But when drama is circulated around you, or people that you genuinely care about and support, it hits different, and it's not fun. It's not fun. And unfortunately, I have experienced that on a personal level, and I've also watched people that, again, I truly care for and have grown a friendship with on here, really go through the ringer as well. And there's a lot of like, there's these communities, which we've talked about communities before on my channel multiple times. There's many different communities, TikTok, YouTube, there's communities, right? And there comes a lot of issues with communities. Community, the word community, if you think about it, it's supposed to be like a positive thing, you know, people, you know, supporting each other, showing up for each other, having each other's backs. Like community sounds like a positive thing. But what I have come to learn on social media is there's a lot, communities are very convoluted, and this goes for all communities, but especially communities that are circulated around drama. And some could say that's common sense, but common sense isn't always so common. Like when I first came up in these little drama commentary communities, I didn't think about that, you know? I didn't think about how dramatic it really can be, or, you know, there's people that go real life. And they'll just horrible shit that they do to one another. And unfortunately, people that I support have really went through the ringer with that stuff, having their children drugged for no reason, having been doxxed, having their personal information be put out, having to go to court and try to get, you know, some type of justice for the shit that they've been put through. And it's tricky. It's all very tricky because the court systems and just the legalities of it all, it's so hard to get the protection. And I've heard a lot of like bigger influencers talk about this, like Tana Mojo. I know Trisha Paytas has talked about it. A lot of people have talked about it, but they have legit real life stalkers, and they've called the cops because the stalker literally has been at their house trying to get in and get to them. And they'll call the cops, and the cops are like, yeah, well, there's not much we can do about it unless they hurt you. If they hurt you, then call us back. And it's insane.
You've probably dealt with some stalkers. And
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I showed up to court for mine. And,
yeah,
and got a full on restraining order.
That's good that you were able to. Like, it's hard. It's hard to get a restraining order.
Yeah. Especially here in LA.
Yeah, it's super hard. Anytime I was ever calling the police on my stalker, like, oh my God, there was a time I called the police on my stalker and they legitimately were like, hey, can we come tomorrow at 2 p.m.?
100%.
I was like, this isn't a fucking nail appointment.
We would wait for hours.
Yeah.
And the people would be in his house. Hey guys, there's someone downstairs like armed.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, okay, well, we can send you a link to your to your phone that you called from if you want to file a report about it.
These people are from the internet. Like, people just take shit too far. And in communities, YouTube communities, TikTok communities, I've noticed that happens a great deal as well. Not just in the drama commentary community, but like, you know, almost any community. You have people who are just not well, and they hyper fixate and like over obsess over people they don't really know. They just have watched them online and feel entitled to tell them how to live their life or how to do this or how to do that. And I just want to say, I want to make this very clear. Anytime I have ever talked about anybody, any personal one person, it was never out of a place of entitlement, thinking that I had some right to tell this person how to live their life. It's just my opinion. Like, I didn't expect this person to do what I say, or else I'm gonna dox you, or I'm gonna do this or that. That's weird. That is the weirdest energy I've ever seen in my life. It was never from a place of entitlement, feeling like I had a right to tell this person or that person what to do with their life. It's just an opinion. It's not that serious. But what I've come to learn is there are a lot of people online who do not look at it that way. And they take it very seriously. And it's sad, really. This crap, you guys, how did I do this? I didn't even do anything. And it's just like, how did I do this? Long story longer, okay? The other day, I was watching a stream, I was scrolling, and I seen a stream from my girl Bliss Chris, who is not only a moderator for this channel, but she's also a friend, someone that I have considered a friend for a long time. She was on a panel with another creator by the name of Popcorn, who I'm not as familiar with, if I'm being honest, but I do know a little bit. And in the last year, I have watched a little bit of their stuff because of Bliss Chris, because I support Bliss Chris. And like I said, when I support people, I support them. You know, if they're on other panels, whatever the situation, I'm going to show them support when I know about it. So there has been a few streams of popcorns that I have seen in the past because Bliss Chris would do a stream and popcorn would come up, or whatever the case may be. But outside of that, I didn't know a lot about popcorn, and the things I did know were not good things, if that makes sense. It's official. All three of my kids are up and moving around, so you're probably going to hear them in the background. I'm going to try to speed this up now as much as I can because I talk far too much. God, I hate this. You see what I mean? Like, how? How do people do content and be a mom? I need to know. I mentioned this with popcorn just to say that my initial opinions were not the best of popcorn, and I didn't really watch her or her content or anything like that. Popcorn seems to be very intelligent and funny, and I was like, you know what, let me just go check her channel out, give it a chance, whatever. And that has been within the last month and a half because of all this crap going on with another creator, small creator by the name of Shelly Abbott. I talked about that a little bit in another live I did like about a month ago. So I'm not going to really get into it a great deal. I don't know a lot about Shelly. So again, like I said before, I don't feel like I really have a dog in this race. However, she has hurt people that I care about, people who I have been what I consider friends with for the last 5 years. And I do have a problem with that. These are some of the most supportive, amazing women I have had the pleasure of getting to know in the last 5 years. And I don't take lightly to that. When you're hurting people who have quite literally helped you out of a bad situation financially, mentally, physically, whatever the case, and then you just turn on them for what looks like no reason at all. Just think it's so dirty. And this is not a drag fest or nothing. It's just an explanation on like how this happened for me. Okay. And I clicked on the stream. I seen Bliss Chris was up there and I was like, oh, there's my girl. I seen some of my girls in the chat and they're talking about Shelly and the shit that Shelly's done recently. And they were talking about being raised by a narcissist. And I have a lot of, unfortunately, I have experience with that. Both of my parents are known narcissists. They are narcissistic, very, very narcissistic people. Growing up in that is not easy. It's not. It tremendously affects your psyche, and that stays with you your whole life. They were talking about that, and I gave my opinion as someone with experience with it. And I knew they were talking about Shelly, but I wasn't quite sure of the topic. I didn't go back. I'm bad about that. If I click on a stream, I'll watch from where I'm at. I don't think to go back and catch up all the time. Sometimes I will, but not all the time. I'm bad about that. So I wasn't sure like what all was being discussed. It turned. There was like a turn, a mood change, if you will, where Bliss Chris, JJ, and Popcorn were saying, they had what they believed to be proof that another dear friend of mine, BDU, was a sock account who had done some really dirty, nasty shit to not only them, but other people in the community. And they didn't say B's name at first, but they very much alluded to it being B. And I'm going to pop in just a quick clip of what I heard because I feel like it's important for context.
This is not a situation where people are like, I'm going to tell my truth. I'm going to tell, how I feel. This is a matter of this is fact, this is fact, this is fact. And I'm sorry, but I can't ignore facts.
We were the devil for being in their chats while these same people that their friends were dragged and dogged and doxxed and stalked and harassed. And you guys used these accounts to cheerlead for them in their chats. And I can't wait till it all comes out you fucking fake bitches. So that's what I wanted to say. Yeah,
Bazinga!
you fake ass bitches. At least we did it with our real names.
Yup.
Selfie Queen was sitting in there. JJ was sitting in there. Bliss was
Yup.
sitting in there. Popcorn Jugs. We sat in there as ourselves. You guys, while you were raining outrage at the degenerates, how dare us? We're the devils. You guys were in their fucking chats, sharing their stuff, reposting their shit. I'm sorry to the friends that are going to find out who they were.
Cindy just spilled some tea.
I gotta keep it 100. And all of this has nothing to do with the person I'm about to name, but since they were in the chat, the one person I feel bad for is Wildflower. And there's very few people that I
don't know.
highly, highly respect and will go out of my way to do like little things that she never even knows about. I don't need to tell her, as a sign of respect. And one of those things was talking about or disrespecting a specific person. And again, ahead of time, I apologize for that, but I can't keep quiet on this.
They mentioned me in there. Bliss did. She's like, I've tried to show respect to this person. And that's when I knew it was about B, because I've known for a while that B and Bliss don't necessarily get along the greatest. They're not the best of friends, and they clash sometimes. I deeply care about both of these women, for similar reasons. It's not always easy. And it's not because of any one person making it not easy. It can just be uncomfortable sometimes, because I want to respect Bliss and I don't want her to feel like she's being disrespected in any way ever in my chats, in a comment section or whatever. And I never want her to walk on eggshells around me or feel like she has to bite her tongue around me because she respects me. Like, I don't want to ever, and I said this in their chat, I never, whether I agree with you or disagree with you, I don't agree on trying to silence people. And Bliss knows I would never do that to her. With me and Bliss, for 5+ years, if there was something, if she had a question, if she was questioning my intentions on something, if she seen something that made her side-eye something, if she seen something that she just thought I needed a heads up on, like whatever it may be, she's always came to me. And it is something I genuinely respect so much in a person. Instead of just believing some bullshit or questioning some bullshit, just come to me. And I respect that about her so much. And B too, BDU's the same way. It's not to compare the two women. It's just me saying, like, I cherish that so much. Woman to woman, tell me what you think. Let's have a conversation. Let's really get into it. So, if I'm being honest, when they started this and I hear Bliss say, Wildflower, I'm sorry, but I had to say something this time. I felt blindsided for multiple reasons. But the main one just being that I guess maybe I had put an expectation. The first thing I thought in my head was like, why didn't you reach out to me if you really believed that B was doing some crazy phony-ish on a sock account, hurting people, attacking people, putting out people's information? I would never do that to her publicly. I would have at least given her a heads up, and said, hey, heads up, this one's going to be about your girl, and we have reason to believe XYZ, okay? Which they're entitled to, mind you. That's the second thing here is Bliss had made a comment that, she couldn't be quiet on this one, that she has always tried to respect me when it comes to B. And she has. I know there has been a couple of times where she felt disrespected by B in comment sections or chats or whatever, just like things that Bliss felt was passive aggressive, and she would bite her tongue or not say anything or try not to think too deep into it. And I've heard her say publicly a few times that that's out of respect for me and knowing how much I care for B. And I appreciate that. But at the same time, I would never, ever, ever, ever I don't want my friends to feel like they're walking around on eggshells, or that they can't just say what they want to say, or that they are being silenced on something because of me. Like, never. It's confusing. It's confusing because I felt very blindsided by the whole ordeal. And what I will say is, what they showed was not good. It was horrible. And I respect that is their opinion, that it is B, and they're entitled to that opinion. It's hard for me to believe, if I'm being honest, and I respect Bliss so much, and Cindy and JJ and everyone's opinions. I respect it so much. So I hope they can understand where I'm coming from with this. And I wanted to reach out to Bliss and just say, like, yo, what was that? Like, because I did feel blindsided. I would have much rather really and truly appreciated to hear that directly from you as my friend than to hear it publicly and be blindsided by it. I'm so sorry for the things that has happened to you, Cindy, JJ. And as I say that, I can also say the same for BDU and everybody. I hate it. I fucking hate this shit. I've hated this shit. I hate seeing people be attacked, especially if it's someone that I care for. And I've went back and forth on making this video, but I just feel like I just needed to say it. Like, I personally don't believe it's in her character to do the things that she was being accused of. I understand where they're coming from. Shelly is a problem. This is all rooted back to her. She is the common denominator in all of this, in my personal opinion. Okay, this isn't a fact, it is my opinion. We're all entitled to that, okay? All of us. In my personal opinion, Shelly has been caught up in many lies already, and I can understand how they came to that conclusion, and I respect it. And again, I believe they're entitled to it. So it's nothing on that. It's just, if I had known, I wouldn't have watched it. I would have just left that one be. And because it is hard for me to believe. Because that would be like me if on the other end of this, if B tried to say some shit like that about Bliss, I wouldn't believe it. Because these ladies, Bliss, B, they have never given me a reason to believe some shit like that. I feel so bad because I can only imagine how hurt B feels in all of this. It's just a whole mess, you guys, and I hate it. So yeah, sorry this is like such a downer of a video. I just needed to like express myself and get that out. I really hope this doesn't upset anyone, because that's not my intentions. I just want to be very honest about my feelings and opinions. I know I don't have a dog in this race. I know it has very little to do with me, but I just felt like I should say something. I also, I don't like to see my friends hurt. I don't like to see my friends in situations like that. So my heart goes out to B. I haven't reached out or anything. I don't even know what to say, but I'm thinking of her. I'm also just thinking of everybody, like shit's just gotten so stupid and awful around here, and I don't know what to think anymore about anything. And I hate that. But I wanted to speak for myself. I wanted to just put my thoughts out there, express how I've been feeling the last couple of days. I fully support people just, and that's what I adore about Bliss, is she is very outspoken and just says it how it is, and I respect that. But I would be lying if I said that this one didn't hurt a little bit. for multiple different reasons, you know, and it was just like a mind fuck of like just not knowing what to think. And yeah, this one stung. This one stung. And I don't know if I'm making the right decision making a video to say all of this, but I had to get it out. And yeah, I hope you guys understand. I am going to really try to get back into the swing of things, you guys, and like start, even if it's just walk and talks or crochet and chats or drinking coffee and talking shit, like whatever. I really want to get back into the swing of things and start utilizing my platform more consistently again. I try to post shorts and stuff, but it's hard, you guys. It is hard. But with that being said, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. I know this one, again, is a little bit of a Debbie Downer vibes, to hear at the end at least, especially. But if you made it this far, I appreciate you. If you would, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave me your thoughts and opinions if you are privy to what I'm talking about, or if you have something you would like to say, please leave me a comment in the comments down below, and I will continue this conversation with you all down there. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I adore you guys, and yeah, I hope things get better for so many of you, and I hope you all have a good week. Bye.